This is the one habit that transformed my fragrance game. Your fragrance isn't the problem, your habit is. If your scents don't fit anymore, it's because you're still wearing your old identity. Is it just me, or have you also experienced a fragrance collection that feels meh? You ever find yourself rummaging through fragrances saying, I have so many things but nothing to wear? It's kind of like clothes, where you have a closet full of clothes and you only wear 20% of the things. It's almost like the Pareto principle applied to fragrances. We have these big, beautiful collections, but we really don't feel like we resonate with many things, and they're just taking up space, creating visual and mental clutter. And honestly, it just gets frustrating, time consuming, and just, So what I've been doing is kind of deconstructing the steps that I took during my fragrance journey to try to help you along your way. What wasn't working? Let me know if any of these sound like you. I'm wearing scents that match my mood, but not my identity. My collection feels scattered. I have beautiful bottles, but there's no cohesion. Compliments are inconsistent and things just don't seem aligned anymore. I'm still reaching for my old self perfumes. Like, these things don't even align or resonate with who I am now. If any of these sound like you, it is time to edit your collection. In my previous video, I outlined 3 fragrance personalities as far as how you collect fragrances and what they say about you and your current mental state as it relates to fragrance, or maybe how you even perceive yourself in life. And right now, I am in a heavy editor phase. I am paring down so much and so many things, and I'm honestly finding it easier and easier to get ready in the morning because I have fewer things I'm sifting through. People don't understand just how toxic visual clutter is. When we see a bunch of things that we're sifting through, it really gives us analysis paralysis. We have too many choices to the point where we're just like, forget it. I don't want to do any of this. And then I just grab something, don't feel good about it, and then you're like, oh, that's right, I did have that great thing that I loved that I couldn't see because it was just covered up with all the fluff. If this is you, don't worry, we can edit. So first things first, I want us to understand that we are building a wardrobe, not a lineup. Quality over quantity. I cannot stress this enough. I am speaking from experience. I have reduced the quantity of my fragrance options, and I am now leaning more toward quality. I am so much happier now that I have a significantly reduced collection. I feel good about what I'm reaching for. I don't have as much. I still have some visual clutter. And you know what? I realize I don't have anybody to impress but me. Once we realize this, and once we really get to the meat of why we're doing something, I can't stress this enough, it will truly help us hone in on the what, as in the what we need to be doing. So I want you to make a list. Make a list of the person who you want to be. Even if you feel this person is so far-fetched, that's okay. What I've done personally, I arrange my fragrances by personality. And this may work for you too, if you have the wherewithal and the patience to do this. Like, there are personas that I embody at any given time. And so I will pick a fragrance based on how this persona would feel wearing said fragrance. So for example, if I'm going to do a show, I am a performer, I would wear something that I would consider my superstar collection, which is, oddly enough, this section right here. These are fragrances that I have set aside that make me feel like that girl. So if you have that it person collection, the ones that make you feel like $1,000,000, set those into a certain category. If you have your corporate collection, your VIP collection, your business collection, that's not visible on the camera. I have different sections throughout the house for my collections. I'm weird like that. But I have those. So like fragrances I would wear to work, those are in a different section. Those are ones that tend to be more safe. My fresh ones, my clean ones, my light florals, the ones that tend to toe a straight line as not to offend anyone, because in business, people do, they treat you a certain way based on your perception, based on presentation. You don't want your fragrance to overpower or to conflict with the information being presented. You don't want to choke people out. So do not put your ouds, your heavy hitters, that winter collection, don't put that in the business collection. These are my fitness collection. I'm also in the fitness industry. So I like to have fragrances that are more effervescent, typically more citrus, more easy reach, because when you go into the gym, I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to be on display, if you will. That's not the time to shine. That's the time to grind. And you also want to be fresh. You want to be stinky at the gym. So citruses tend to also wake you up, because let's admit it, most of us do not feel like going to the gym. Just the thought of exercise or anything that resembles work kind of puts us in a meh mood. So you want to have something that will effervesce. And you may have different personas for yourself. You may have your family collection, things I like to wear, when I'm going to family things, or whatever it is, your concert collection. I don't know. Let me know in the comments some of your personas that you like, or things that you like to categorize your fragrances into. But we really want to make sure that our fragrances fit our main identities. So me being a performer, me being someone who is in fitness, me being someone who is in business, again, that collection is off camera. It may be ideal to separate your fragrance collection by your lifestyle. And then what you'll realize is you got a bunch of stuff that fits in none of those. So when you do that, when you have those leftovers, if you will, I want you to really sit with these and think, do these reflect the person I was, or the person I am, or the person I'm becoming? This is a very, very big deal, because what I realized when I started to declutter and edit my fragrance collection was that a lot of fragrances that I bought when I was in a very bad mental state, and not bad as in depressed, but bad as in feeling like I had to amass a large collection because I felt like I had to compare myself. Comparison is the thief of joy. Your fragrances should be in your collection because you truly enjoy them, because they make you feel and smell good, and because you look forward to wearing them. If they don't fit that description, they need to go. And so I had over 100 fragrances that ended up in the what am I going to do with you pile. And what I started doing was I started to use them as random house sprays. I gave quite a few to my husband. My husband's collection is enormous, but he actually has a use for these things because he's like the king of layering. But in other ones, I gifted. I started selling them. I started to swap them. In fact, I have quite a few that are remaining on my website, whistlenotes.com. If you'd like to take those off my hands, they're on sale for a really good deal on my site under the entire bottles for sale section. Please, they are not serving me a purpose, but they may serve you a purpose. And these are ways to help declutter things without feeling like you lost. Now, granted, the hardest thing for me when letting fragrances go, and this may be the thing for you too, is how much we spent. Oh my goodness. I feel like they were glued to the shelf. Like, I can't let this go. I spent so much on this and I haven't even worn this. I had new bottles, hadn't even worn things I bought because I was impulsive at the store, or I heard reviews about it and got it, and it was like, this is absolutely wrong for me. So many reasons we don't declutter things because of the sunken cost. There's just as much loss in seeing things, constant reminders of our former self just taking up space and reminding us of that time. It's more painful to keep seeing things we don't want in front of us than to just let those things go. Get them out of sight. Get them out of your life and into a place where they can be appreciated. So that's all I'm going to do for this one, but I'm going to continue this with another step. But this is just the one habit, the editing habit, the really identifying with everything in my collection and just taking a pause to say, do I need this? Do I want this? Do I already have something like this? Oh, and a bonus, settling. Another big thing that I noticed in my declutter collection were things that I was settling for because I did not want to spend the money on what I really wanted. How many of us have bought a dupe for something, but we really loved the original, and we justified the $10 purchase because we didn't want to spend the $100. Now, for some people, that's great, but for me, it was not. Something about certain dupes, it made me feel like I was an imposter. When you get the original, the thing that you originally fell in love with, it just makes you feel so much better. You feel confident about it when you see it on your dresser. You feel great when you reach for it. Usually the bottles are more beautiful and the quality is often better. So if you have settlement fragrances, those may need to be on the chopping block as well. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, indifferent, some of the issues you are facing in your editor phase, because 2026 is the year of the curation, honey. Our collections are a reflection of us. And if you are looking to level up your lifestyle, one fragrance at a time, hit that subscribe button, and also like, comment, and share this video with anyone and everyone. And until next time, I am Margarita, and you have an awesome day. Bye.